Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bastion Yugioh here, and today we're gonna be tackling the top 10 I should say, best decks post Photon Hypernova, also post the February 13th, 2023 Forbidden and Limited list. It absolutely destroyed, decimated not only Ishizu tier, it destroyed Spright with Spright Elf as well. And honestly, it didn't. Okay, so it didn't destroy Spright. The consistency of Spright and its follow-up was severely damaged as well. We didn't get too much back, but this does have a huge impact on the meta. So I'm gonna start off by saying, guys, with the Ishizu tier deck dropping as the #1 deck. With every single card in the deck either being limited, Kit Kalos getting banned, pretty much you have to run a tier limit Kashtira combined in order to even make the deck slightly viable. So in and of itself, it has definitely dropped off the face of the earth as the best deck of the format. No more tier 0, but what does this mean? This also means that cards that were not played or that were played because tier limit was the best deck are starting to either lose or gain viability depending on where they were. For example, we went over yesterday how the Bestial archetype is going to be losing popularity in the main deck, guys. Probably seeing as more of a side deck option for you guys, or just not played at all depending on how you guys are feeling with your locals or how the regional feel is going to be. We are yet to see how the competitive game is going to go ahead and adapt for this, but other cards, right? For example, Nibiru, you would not play Nibiru back in in the current format, I should say, only because if you Nibiru a tier limit board, they say cool and they special summon everything again, or they continue fusion summoning, so it really was not beneficial for you to activate cards like Nibiru. But now that that deck is gone, we can easily Nibiru decks like Kashtira, we can Nibiru decks like Spright. Nope, well, Spright, you need to make sure the Spright Red is not activated, is not on board. You need to make sure they didn't activate Gigantic Spright, but what I'm saying is Nibiru becomes a little bit more viable in this upcoming format, again, post the February 13th list. But we're not here for that, guys. We're here for the top 10 decks post Photon Hypernova and post the Forbidden list. And without further ado, let's get started with number 10. Number 10 we have on our list, we have Drytron, guys. So Drytron has actually risen up from the depths of hell and actually become a more or less relevant meta deck in this upcoming format. Again, this is due to the decrease in popularity of Bestials that easily I'm predicting for this upcoming format. Again, with tier limit not being the best deck, Kashtira, they don't really play a lot of dark monsters, mainly a lot of earth, water, wind. Even decks like Fluwanderies, you know, a whole bunch of wind monsters. Spright losing viability, maybe mix it with a Gishkis, which means more waters in the deck. It just really loses the consistency and ability to go ahead and play those cards. And with that being said, it opens up essentially the field for Drytron to come back as one of the better decks of the format. No longer having to fear their Benton getting banished, their Alpha getting banished, their whatever getting banished in the graveyard. And that was really the biggest hit for Drytron, is that they were not able to go ahead and combo off because Bestials were such a big thing. And essentially, the previous format was so focused on attacking the graveyard that Drytron just had no chance. But with these changes in the format and with the ban list, I think Drytron has a shot at number 10. Number 9 on our list, guys, we have Dark World. So Dark World is actually a really powerful, really fun deck that is focused on hand looping your opponent, taking your opponent's hand, going first or second does not matter for this deck. This deck is actually super crazy. I posted a deck profile for it a few weeks back, so if you have not checked it out, make sure you definitely do so right now. And the reason why this has been elevated as well is, again, because Ishizu tier, they don't have to fear Ishizu tier. Essentially, if you were sending cards from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, they're being sent by card effect, which means you're getting tier limit effects right off the bat, Ishizu effects right off the bat, and with that being less of a threat, it opens up again the gate for Dark World take that next step into potential meta viability. Number 8 on our list, guys, I have Labrynth. Now, a lot of you guys may look at this and say I have him way too low. Labrynth the best deck. I think honestly you might be tripping. You might be right. We have yet to see this, so just what I'm currently seeing them at the current format. Yes, we did get a brand new trap card in Big Welcome Labrynth, which adds a little bit of interruption for the deck, which is nice. But the thing is that, again, Kashtira will negate your spell and trap zones, which then makes your entire deck unplayable because you can't activate your traps. And that is really the main issue with trap-based decks in the current format. Before, it was too slow. Now, while it can play, potentially sees a little bit more competitive viability. This is why it's number 8 on the list. I just think that being so limited with it, so if let's say you're going second against a Kashtira player, the best they can do is knock out 3 zones. Those 3 zones are all going to be spells and traps, which does hurt, again, the consistency and the playability of the deck as well. Not to mention on their turn, on your turn I should say, they are going to be blocking out more zones on your field, so it's just going to make things a little bit more complicated for you. Alright guys, number 7 on the list is a deck that I have not seen in anyone's top tier list yet. I am really confused as to why, but I think Sky Striker has the potential to be a top 10 deck once again. Main reason why Sky Striker was not doing well before was, again, the Bestials being so over popular in every single person's competitive deck. If they say Chain Ray, you say great, Chain Bestial, get rid of Ray, and then your entire deck is just dead. But the ability that this deck has to not only play around the zone locking schemes, but also to go ahead and be able to play a lot of really powerful spell cards that actually destroy the number 1 deck, of being Kashtira, which, if you guys did not know, spoiler alert, this is what I think makes Sky Striker so freaking viable in the current format. Being able to play cards like Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, and be very relevant because it is a spell card, you need spells in the graveyard. Being able to play these cards and with ease being able to take out over your opponent's board, and being able to play cards like Lightning Storm in the main, Regeki in the main, Dark Hole in the main for your Ibli locks as well. It just gives the deck so much versatility in the current format. It is going to take a special pilot to go ahead and make this deck relevant. I do have a deck profile that I'm currently working on for Sky Striker. I'm taking a little bit of a back burner on that one right now, so you may see, if not this week, then the following week, but definitely look up for that video coming up very soon. Number 6 on the list, guys, I have Dinosaurs. So True King Lithosagem coming to 3 off the ban list, finally unlimited. We can finally go play 6 babies in Dinos, and Lithosagem is absolutely just the nuts. It's one of the best cards ever printed. There was a reason this card was banned, and then it went to 1, and now it's at 3, guys. I am so excited to play True King Dinos again. I cannot hold back my excitement, guys. I mean, this deck was absolutely fantastic, essentially off the rails, off the walls, essentially. So the Lithosagem, what it allows you to do, you pop 2 monsters in your hand to special summon it. If the 2 are Earth, you get to go ahead and look through your opponent's graveyard and start your opponent's extra to start banishing cards. It is insane, and it's immediate consistency to the deck. Just being able to pop 2 babies, search your Misks, search your Soul Eating Overactor, your whatever you want, and it just go clean off from there. Special summoning here and there, everywhere. Also, it has an amazing ability because the main deck boss monster in Ultimate Conductor Tyranno actually Book of Moons everything for you. So all you need to do is special summon this guy for free, which essentially is what Dinos do. And then you just Book of Moon everything on your opponent's board, and Kashtira can't do a thing about it, which I think is phenomenal because they don't have any negates. So I think the Dinos have a huge leg up on the current format. I may have put them a bit too low for this one, I will admit that, but again, we'll see how the format goes and take it from there. Number 5 on our list, guys, I have Despia. So Despia has got some brand new support and brand new fusions as well. Despia has been a deck that's kind of been waiting for its turn, still being played but not getting the results. Hasn't really been meta relevant since Swordsoul was the best deck of the format, so and since the Outback Strike Structure deck really dropped, so it's really just been waiting on its turn, slowly gaining more and more support cards. Overall, I think the deck has a lot of viability. Being able to fusion summon on your turn, your opponent's turn, kind of sounds a little bit tier lamenty to me, but not quite that much. But still, very powerful deck. I cannot wait to see what Despia does in the upcoming format. That's why I have it at number 5. So number 4 on our list, guys, I have a deck that I said it was dead at the beginning of the video. I have Spright variants. So with Spright Elf being gone, it does take a huge hit to the Spright deck. Not in necessarily the consistency, but just a follow-up game. It really, first of all, it makes making Totally Awesome a lot harder, and it makes making Double Toad not as much of a threat anymore. So it really decreases the amount of interruptions you're going to make, the amount of viability that your boards are going to have, and overall taking a huge hit. Now, having said that, the deck is still wildly consistent and is extremely versatile as well, being able to be paired up with Gishki, Runick, Tri-Brigade, what else? I saw Springans, I don't know about that one, Melfi. Any level 2 deck you can play, or any deck that plays level 2s, you can mix this with it and make a phenomenal deck out of it. I think that Spright, while having lost a lot of the follow-up factor for it in itself, can still be used as a phenomenal engine to set up some amazing boards still. I've seen a lot of things on Facebook and on YouTube, and I'm testing a lot to see which one's going to be the best variant. But if you guys want to see a Spright variant, let me know in the comment section down below which ones you guys want to see. So far, I did put a poll out, and I think Yugioh Spright was winning it if I'm not mistaken, or Tribegate Spright was actually winning it. So I may do a video here and there, but let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll have it down below. Alright guys, number 3, we're getting to the best decks, and I actually do not have Fluanderies on here, mainly because Barrier Statue being gone is a huge hit to the deck. Now, I could be wrong about this. The deck might still be able to do a lot of things without Barrier Statue, but that was just such a big part of what it was able to do, just essentially locking out your opponent. So in its place, I have a Runic variant deck, or just Runicks in general, have actually shot up in viability wildly, right? So the main reason why Runicks were not viable before was not a Bestial issue, obviously. It was more of a Ishizu Medora and, was it Keldo? Keldo, the ones that shuffle back, the shufflers, right? So you, normally, because you would activate your Runic spell, and then you activate your fountain, target 3, shuffle back. But if all 3 of them had to get shuffled back, so if you activate Medora Keldo and shuffle one of them back for me, then it's no longer there, so and you can't get your consistency with that deck. So there may be a lot of deck out decks in this upcoming format with through Runic. Maybe Runic Trickstar, we'll see. But I think Runic overall as a whole for itself as a deck can be very viable in either, well, it's actually straight deck out. Actually, it could definitely win by straight deck out. Just being able to out resource your opponents. Essentially, all you really have to do is just make sure that you're negating and popping whatever your opponent has before they're able to go ahead and set up their board. Being able to activate a whole bunch of spells from your hand during your opponent's turn, and constantly just refilling your hand with more interruptions is just absolutely nuts, guys. So that's why I have Runic up here at number 3. Number 2, guys, for the best decks of this upcoming format, I actually have Swordsoul. So Swordsoul is actually a phenomenal deck. It has not lost us anything. The only time the deck has really been hit was when Arch Nemesis Protos was banned, and that's pretty much it. Besides that, the deck is 100% full power. It's still as consistent as it was before, and now you don't really have to fear about Tier Shizu just overall overwhelming you with fusion summons during your turn or their turn as well. Now you can actually go clean off and make some phenomenal boards, some really strong boards that burn your opponent for a ton of damage, and you can set up boards with Baron the Floor, set up your negations with Shishao and all those type of things as well, and the Tiny package as well is still again untouched. I think Swordsoul being one of the best decks of last year, coming into this year and still continuing to be one of the best decks of the format. It was even topping even back when Ishizu tier was the tier 0 deck. It was still doing extremely well for what it was, and now that that deck's completely out the way and Sprites have pretty much gone down in viability, I think that opens the door wide open for decks like Swordsoul to really just come into its own, and that's why I believe it's going to be the second best deck of the format. Now guys, if you guys don't know what number 1 is, you've definitely been sleeping under a rock, because number 1 is going to be Kashtira. Kashtira is going to be the best deck of the format, being able to shut off your opponent from playing the game by blocking out all your opponent's zones, meanwhile slapping a whole bunch of really big monsters with a minimum attack of like 2700, boss monsters reaching up to 3000 plus attack. I mean, they're all huge monsters as well, and they're able to OTK you, they're able to block out all your zones and prevent you from playing. It's wildly consistent, the deck. As long as you have Unicorn in hand, you have full combo, and then they also get a new card that's similar to like Emergency Teleport in the deck. You can just turbo out Unicorn. This deck is so free, it's actually insane how good this deck is. I played against it at the most recent locals. I got absolutely slapped up. I don't think I've ever lost a game that fast, or at least it's been a very long time. But anyway, if you guys are playing Kashtira, kudos to you playing currently the best deck of the current format. I refuse to play Kashtira, mainly because of the price point of the entire deck is absolutely wild. But that's just for me. If you can do it, good for you. Everyone has their own financial situation. I don't want to spend that much money. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did I miss your deck? Did I forget about a deck in this upcoming... Actually, before we take off, guys, I do have one honorable mention. So my one honorable mention for one of the top decks of this upcoming format before we take off is going to be Galaxy Eyes. Now, don't click off the video just yet. Hear me out. Galaxy Eyes has a lot a lot of interruption, and it has a lot of ways to counter Xyz based decks. And what is Kashtira? An Xyz based deck. It even has a card that locks you in Xyz, and it's so good. The Galaxy Eyes effects against Xyz based decks is absolutely insane. Have you read number 62? It's insane. It gains attack times the rank of every single Xyz monster on the board. Wild. The new boss monster C62, the Chaos version of it. You can definitely just go ahead and, first of all, it's unaffected by monster effects, so what are you going to do? You're not going to do anything to me, because I have the biggest monster on the board, right? Unaffected by monster effects, and just beating down your opponent. Have you guys read Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon? Take your opponent's monster. It's treated as a Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon. It immediately becomes 3,000 attack, and you start bashing away at your opponent's board. It's some nasty stuff, guys. I'm honestly so excited for Galaxy Photon. I'm still testing with the deck. I want to make sure I get the right ratios, because I posted a profile and then I thought of something better to do. And so I'm still playing with it right now, but once I get that list down, I'm going to take it to locals, and I'm going to win that locals with Galaxy Photon. That is a guarantee. You heard it here first. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If I missed your deck, let me know in the comment section down below. But if you guys do enjoy the videos, let me know by smashing that like button, hitting that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.